Well, I'm here tonight because it's been so overwhelming to watch what's been happening in Japan. First with the earthquake, which was unbelievable, and then the tsunami that came in and destroyed so much and so many beautiful places and so many people's homes and so many people. And now that would have been tragedy enough. But now the ongoing news and uncertainty about the release of radiation and wondering what that is going to mean for the country and for the people. And so it's really hard to know what to do. And so we're kind of joining here together tonight in order to let our grief be known. And we're taking the opportunity also to write some notes that we will send. And I'm sure people are sending other kinds of relief help. But this is really an emotional occasion to kind of connect heart to heart with people that are just going through unbelievable tragedy.
We will now begin our vigil. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for coming tonight. The Mothers for Peace envisions this very much as a spiritual event. This is not a political gathering. We're gathering in remembrance of the victims of the triple tragedy in Japan. The earthquake, the tsunami, and the radioactive releases that are contaminating people, land, water, and marine life. So that's what we're here for, and we thank you for being here. We honor those who have died, who have lost friends and family, homes, and communities. I'm using these words because this is what I visualize when I hear the news and see the news. I put myself mentally in the place of those people, and it breaks my heart as it does yours. That's why you're here. I'm going to make just a few announcements, and then we're getting to the meat of this, which is you. I am not going to make a long speech. You're going to speak. So I'll give you a few announcements, and then sort of almost Quaker style, we'll ask you to just raise your hand if you'd like to say a few words, and you should come up here and hold this and say why you're here, your reflections. Perhaps you have connections to Japan. I do. My son's married to a Japanese woman. I've been to Japan. I've been to Ground Zero in Hiroshima. That was their first experience with radioactive contamination. And now the North is experiencing another kind. So you'll have your own reflections to share. At the little table over there, Sherry, where is Sherry?
This is to write a note of kindness to people in Japan. I thought of this because I was in Japan about 50 years ago, but not since then. And when these awful things happened, you know, it was like my friends were being hurt. And this awful tidal wave and all that was happening. So I thought of if we could write a note of kindness to people in Japan, and then we would put them on a cord, a white cord, kind of like prayer flags, kind of like notes to prisoners of conscience in Amnesty International, and then send it to Japan through the Salvation Army and have it go to different shelters in Japan. And this doesn't do anything material for them. It's not money, it's not food, but it will brighten their spirits. That's the idea, people to people, that people far away from them are feeling very sorry about what they have to go through. So this is to lift the spirits a little bit of the people in Japan for what they have to endure.
We also, Mothers for Peace has a Facebook page. You don't have to have your own Facebook page to see it, but we update it a lot. And if you choose to go there, you'll see a lot of information, including that one of our members is, there's a big article in Fortune magazine as of today. And Liz Apfelberg is interviewed in Fortune magazine. Liz and I were interviewed by Swiss Radio, which is like NPR in Switzerland. New York Times has referred to Diablo Canyon and the mothers several times. So I'm just saying, you know, the world is recognizing that our 38 years of opposition to any kind of a license at Diablo Canyon is finally recognized as a very rational thing to do. And with that, thank you. And with that, Yes, but this event is the spiritual event, and I would like to stop talking now and ask you to speak. So please just walk right up here and we'll just take turns, and if you don't mind, if you have trouble with the steps, I'll hand this to you so she can get it, but we'd like to hear from people what motivates you to be here tonight.
I'm noticing in my later years now that I'm in my early 50s, and I'm finding that so many things in the world are just driving me nuts, and I often don't make big statements or do anything, because what can you really do? I mean, I question what can we do to stop these bad things from happening? And I think just talking about it and getting consciousness going and telling our friends and things.
I was motivated to come here this evening because I believe in the connectedness of all humans and the healing that we can do by setting intentions. And so we're setting an intention here to the people of Japan for all they're going through, and that we're going to send them light and love. And I also think we and other parts of the country and the world could learn from the people of Japan, who have gone through these tragedies in such grace, without looting, without rioting, without fighting. We have a lot to learn from one another, and that's why I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Thank you all for being here. I recognize it's the cool people of your generation that made the announcement on KSBY so I could be here. And you guys are doing really good work. Thank you. Did Gandhi say an eye for an eye will make the world blind? And what do we have if we don't give to the least of us? Thank you guys for being here. I don't think nuclear energy is a good idea at all, especially if you can't solve the problem. Thank you.
I'm here today to send my sincere thanks for the people of Japan. Unfortunately, they have been the ones to show us what can happen if we're not careful with ourselves here. I'll tell you what I wrote on my card. I hope you find peace and love from the USA. Thank you.
I know we all feel just the horrible scenario has been really bad, but I think those people have so little because they don't get to walk away from a tsunami or losing their homes or losing, part of their life's activities. They actually lost everything, and they'll probably never be able to go back and live in that area that they came from. And who knows how long these repercussions will go on. But I think that is the wake-up call. We had BP, which was just shocking and horrible to watch, and it's still leaking, and I think it'll be centuries before that's cleared up. But now this is a second reminder from the nuclear side of things that we can't store the waste any longer. We can't operate plants that are beyond their life capacity and pretend like it's a safe, clean, too cheap to meter kind of fuel. So I think Diablo, I hope, for the people of Japan, would show the hope of putting wind and solar out there and slowly decommissioning that plant. It would be the best thing that we could do to try to show solidarity so that it doesn't happen in this area at least too.
Today I was out and about. It was beautiful. It's a beautiful day. I listened to people's conversations out at Avila, at the restaurant, Woodstone, all around. People are already detaching. I won't be around when these people get cancer, but I know what it'll do to you. It'll wreck your family. It'll wreck your life. So about 10 years from now, I want you to keep these people in your memories and help them medically. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Wayne Allen, and I called Jane because I've known her for 20 years. I've worked in her classroom when she was teaching down at Dana School in Napomo. And I called her because I have basically concerns in many areas of society. And when this problem occurred in Japan, I was immediately interested and found newspaper articles, people on the radio, trying to find out what happened, and then I called Jane. And in my own personal experience, I've gone back and forth on the issue of nuclear energy, and what I think we all need to do and I mean everybody in America, is starting. We need to get more and more concerned and get more and more information so we take proper approaches on these issues of what kind of energy we're going to have in the future.
All I think of is, but for the grace of God, there go us. And also what I think of is a long time ago, these folks were our enemies. And now we're not. And we're really all one people. And we just have to push and hug each other, no matter where we are, and just support whoever needs it. And if we think of that every day, then maybe there won't be lonely, sick people in the world.
Remember the famous Kennedy words, Ich bin ein Berliner. I am a citizen of Berlin also. Well, I think we're all citizens of northern Japan right now. We really are. We're all victims because we're all in grief for this terrible tragedy. Thank you very much.
My name's Rebecca, and I just picked up on what you shared because I heard a great acronym the other day, PUSH. Pray until something happens.
I'm writing a haiku. I'll have to count as I do it. A wave of sorrow, endless crashing and collapse. Where is the boat?
Thank you. Lovely. People of peace are great poets. Works that way.